Today's top stories at NBR: a spanner in the works of a deal to sell Taupo Motorsports Park. The Chow brothers must honour their word. Circo announces former chair's departure. And there's more coming right up. Kia ora and welcome to NBR Today, a wrap of the day's top business stories from the authority in New Zealand business news since 1970, nbr.co.nz. It's Wednesday, July 28th. I'm Paul Brennan. Thanks so much for joining us. The combination of the asset bubble and a yearn for yield has proven fertile ground for a class of offers syndicating everything from Christchurch townhouses to Gisborne apple orchards and has the FMA on watch. Bank term deposit rates of 1% can't hold a candle to offers such as infill housing developer Williams Corporation's Capital Partnership LP offering a 10% annual return on a minimum investment of $100,000. Or My Farm's Te Arai Orchard Limited Partnership, an investment in a 28-hectare rocket apple block with forecast returns of 25 to 30% at maturity. My Farm's Chief Executive Andrew Waters joined the NBR's Maria Slade.
So last year we offered around 13 or 14 individual syndicate investments. 70% of the money for those investments was repeat investments. So people that have invested with us previously. So it's a specialist product for wholesale or more experienced investors, wealthy investors looking for exposure to the horticultural sector in New Zealand.
My Farm Chief Executive Andrew Waters speaking to Maria Slade there. An 11th hour cash demand has thrown a spanner in the works of a deal to sell Taupo Motorsports Park to racing enthusiast Tony Quinn. TMP Chair Chris Abbott revealed the sudden obstacle in a statement to the unlisted share trading platform today. TMP shareholders are due to vote on the $7.1 million sale of the company's assets and businesses at their annual meeting in Taupo tomorrow. But on Monday, the board received a letter from Taupo Car Club demanding $450,000 as a condition of its consent. Taupo Car Club asserts that its claim for $450,000 arises out of a 2005 agreement guaranteeing it access to the motorsport park for its events without paying track hire fees. However, Abbott said the club had been abusing the agreement by on-selling its track rights to commercial promoters. My Auto Shop has secured a 15% investment from Trade Me. My Auto Shop service connects passenger vehicle owners with independent mechanics, auto electricians, tyre, glass and other automotive professionals around the country and allows customers to book work through an online marketplace. My Auto Shop founder Andy Bowie will look to draw on his previous relationship with the ubiquitous Uber business, where he was GM of Uber Eats, possibly providing services to its driver partners or potentially providing pick-up and drop-off services for car owners. But right now, he's just focusing on upscaling what he already has. The Chow brothers must honour their word after allegedly going cold on a deal to buy a company from former Chow Group director Clint Webber. The High Court at Auckland has heard. But Wednesday's summary judgment hearing between Webber's CSL Limited and Michael and John Chow almost didn't go ahead, with the defendants making an 11th hour application to have a judge step away over a potential conflict of interest. The Chow brothers, best known for their property interests and former brothel ownership, tried to have Associate Judge Peter Andrew recuse himself. Corporate travel services provider Circo has announced former chair Simon Botherway will step down from its board at the annual meeting next month. Botherway joined the Circo board in April 2014 and was its inaugural chair when the company listed on the NZX in June that year. Announcing his departure, Circo said he'd previously indicated his desire to step down from the board but agreed to stay on while the company searched for a new director. Botherway said it was time for succession after 7 years on the board and time spent prior to that restructuring the company in preparation for its listing. Improved performance at New Zealand's largest steel manufacturer looks to have resulted in fewer than expected job losses as domestic demand ramps up. In a preliminary full-year result released yesterday, ASX listed BlueScope Steel, which operates New Zealand Steel in Glenbrook and Pacific Steel in Otahuhu, said New Zealand and Pacific Island performance was about quarter up on the first half. It said strong domestic demand and higher steel pricing more than offset higher energy costs through the 6 months to June 30. The full details Details of those stories and more are at nbr.co.nz right now. Tomorrow at NBR, in his politics column this week, Brent Edwards asks how responsible boomers are for the housing market boom, and the CEO of Southern Cross Healthcare talks about DHB reform. I'm Paul Brennan. I look forward to being with you again tomorrow from around lunchtime for the morning's NBR trending stories. Then same time, same place, right here from 5:30 again tomorrow for another NBR Today.